Hello, I'm urologist Omer Erdamakaya. Today I will make a short video presentation about Bolden-1 and its harmful effects. Bolden-1 is an anabolic, androgenic testosterone derivative, a chemical substance patented in 1949. It was used for human health until the 1970s and for animal health beginning in the 1970s. It is originally known as equipoise in the US and is used legally in animals. However, it has been manufactured and sold underground in black markets around the world for years. It is a popular drug among athletes as an alternative to decadurabolin. Looking at the chemical properties of Bolden-1, Bolden-1 is structurally different from testosterone due to the double bond in the first and second carbon of testosterone. This bond gives Bolden-1 many properties. It causes a reduction in excretion when it passes through the liver, making it resistant to hepatic excretion. In estrogen aromatization, it again prevents aromatization by half. It causes a lower rise in estrogen. However, it decreases the interaction with the enzyme 5-alpha reductase. When it interacts with the 5-alpha reductase enzyme, 5-alpha dihydrobolden-1 should occur, but since this interaction is smaller, it also occurs in small amounts. This interaction may occur mainly in androgen-sensitive organs such as the scalp and prostate. Since it generally converts to 5-beta-dihydrobolden-1, which is an inactive metabolite, we can say that it does not cause any problems. This is generally the chemical structure of Bolden-1. What are the effects of Bolden-1 on the body? The estrogenic effect of Bolden-1 is lower than that of testosterone and higher than that of decadurabolin. According to Bros Sciencers at Anabolic 11, at high doses, over 200 to 400 mg weekly, effects such as estrogenic action and gynecomastia can be observed. Of course, this varies from person to person. On the other hand, if we look at its testogenic effects, it closes the HPA axis testicular and lowers FSH-LH, and reduces testosterone production. It can also lead to sexual unwillingness and low libido. Of course, it can increase sexual desire and libido while it is taken, but after discontinuation, testicular shrinkage or a decrease in testosterone is noted. Other than that, it is not toxic to the liver. There are studies on cardiogenic toxicity. If you search PubMed for Bolden-1, you come across 350 studies. But most of them are old studies because Bolden-1 is a very old product, 70 years old. We know that it cardiogenically increases LDL, decreases HDL, has effects on atherosclerosis, and increases the risk of cardiovascular disease. However, because it does not greatly increase estrogen, it is somewhat more dangerous than testosterone. It is also cardiogenically toxic. Of course, all anabolic steroids can cause these effects. By the way, we know it increases the hemogram level, but all anabolic steroids can increase the hemogram level, especially electrolyte levels, in a different way than polycythemia vera. One of the most important reasons for me to explain Bolden-1 is that I have recently received many cases of erectile dysfunction, sexual aversion, and erectile dysfunction following Bolden-1 use. Of course, since these products are sold underground, it is not known if and how much Bolden-1 is in them. But in one of the cases that came to me, the testosterone was still 150 to 190 in the second month after stopping Bolden-1, and the patient was still suffering from loss of sex drive and erectile dysfunction that had been going on for 2 to 3 months. Of course, this varies from patient to patient. There is nothing that is the same for everyone. But for those who have an active sex life, this can be a problem. We definitely do not recommend taking anabolic steroids, but after taking them, FSH and LH stimulation are needed to stimulate the testicles. If this does not happen, although this varies from person to person, testosterone production is delayed, and sexual unwillingness, erectile dysfunction, or depressive moods may persist for months. As a result, psychological problems also occur. They can become insurmountable and affect the social life of the person concerned. Therefore, I do not recommend taking Bolden-1 because it causes problems. That is how it is in general. Thank you for listening. Best regards.